Good morning. Let me know how the audio balancing is. I have figured out the streams are too quiet. Unfortunately, I have no idea how to make them louder. Because all of my settings are maxed out, and if I just try to like stick a filter on them to make them louder, it destroys the entire thing. So that's fun. Let's see. The stream's current bitrate is lower than the recommended bitrate. Gosh dang it, I forgot to do that again. Oh well. You guys get sacked with a lower bitrate. I mean, I could try putting my mic in my mouth. Does that help any? Yeah, this is how you're supposed to use microphones, by stuffing it directly into your face. Unfortunately, it's very uncomfortable. I could turn up the gain. Can you hear me breathing? Awesome, that's good. Okay. Everything working? Nice. Okay. Oh, no, my mouth isn't working. I forgot that's an issue. Hold on. For some reason, my microphone detection stuff only works if I'm running the game directly from Godot. Or not the game, the software. Hold on. See, there's my funny little yellow line. Whoopsies. Okay, you go up there. You go down. Okay, now we're good. Alright, today, what we're doing is working on questing, which is fun. Specifically, what we're doing is we want to have some sort of gameplay loop. And so far, all we've figured out for that gameplay loop is that it involves a nice little feedback loop of quests. The problem is, all of our good questing systems, like all of the interesting quests, are all involved with like our really complicated gameplay systems that we're not even close to figuring out how to actually implement yet. Like the politics system. I don't think TGP has questing. If it does, I've never seen it. Overseer might. Oh, quirky. Alright, whatever. Yeah, so just for today, we're going to be implementing all of the all of the boilerplate for getting questing able to be put in. What this means is we're just going to do fetch quests for now. specifically what that looks like is we have a little town full of NPCs, of consorts, and we have a little spawner area of imps, and you can talk to a consort and get a quest, and then you can go kill an imp to get the item for that quest, and then you can go back. It's the simplest possible thing ever. And it's not going to be very fun, but it is just boilerplate for the more interesting stuff that we have planned, like everything with the politics system. So that's pretty cool. If you want to run in circles and hit things too, that's totally fine. You'll probably end up fulfilling quests anyway. Okay, so now we just figure out where we want to start. I could start by making some environment stuff. I could start by making spawners for the NPCs, or I could start by making the UI. I could also start by making the environment. Currently, let's see. What do we have done already? What's the state of the game at the moment? Oh, right, you have to listen to Friday Night Funkin' with me. You're now all cursed because the combat system uses Friday Night Funkin' music because I'm terrible. Whatever. Here's a consort. It's blue. Here's an imp. It's brown. Here are cubes. They can also be damaged. That's about where the game is currently. You can get the idea of what the combat's supposed to be like. The quote-unquote gun is the best one so far. Alright, currently all of the NPCs are being spawned in by this NPC file here, where it just spawns in a new consort and a new imp, which is cool. We need to make, instead, spawners for the entities instead of just statically spawning them at the beginning, especially if we need to have them be endlessly respawnable for questing. All right, I guess let's just start with a spawner type. I'm just gonna make a new file. Spawner.rs. Go to mod, pub mod spawner. Oh boy, you get to see what it's like programming something vaguely from scratch in Bevy. Okay, for the spawner, we're going to need probably a max amount. What else we need? True, we should probably keep track. No, actually, no, let's not do that. Well, yeah, sure. We're also going to need a spawned entity component. This is going to be what the imps receive so that they know when they die we need to change the amount of... We don't actually need the amount. We need to inform the spawner, hey, you can spawn a new one. let's see. We need a spawn delay, which is going to be an F32. Oh, yeah, these need to be pub. Okay, here we go. Now I need to make a function to spawn entities. We need the commands that would actually spawn it. Oh, the spawner also needs a function that creates the I would love for the spawning thing to be a query. Here's something we can do. We can have spawn entities return an optional vec3, which is going to be the position of the entity that we want to spawn. Actually, I'm going to do one better. These are supposed to be components, by the way. Drive, component, spawn entity information. Now we can have position. It's going to be a vec3. And then we'll just pass this out of the query so that we can pipe this query into an actual spawning system. So instead of having this plugin here, we have, that's the wrong plugin. Instead of having this this plugin here, that where all it does is spawn some NPCs, we instead make two queries. One that spawns imps and one that spawns consorts. Spawn consort. And we're going to pass in a spawn info. Spawn entity information. I think that's how this works, right? Sorry, no, this takes an option. Let's see, if spawn I can't wait for everyone to just be aggressively aware of how terrible my Rust is again. There we go. If it's okay, we can just stuff the spawning code in here. Oh, right, there shouldn't be an, okay, there should be some. And now I can place the position here. And there we go. That's spawn consort. This one we want to spawn imp. Just gonna copy this. Awesome. Now it's complaining that we don't have these. That's probably fine. what we're doing is we're gonna have spawn entities piped into spawn consort. Stop that. And this just gives us a really, really easy way to handle all sorts of different entities that we want to spawn. There we go. We probably want to make this generic so that we can query for specific spawner types. It needs to be mutable. I'm not sure if it'll just be me today. It probably will. Unless... Okay, let's see. Jackalope's busy, and Blair is without power due to the hurricane. Which is very unfortunate. How... There we go. Okay. Where are the entities actually defined? Oh, this is how the entities are actually defined. Okay. We're gonna make a consort spawner is going to be a component. We're going to make a imp spawner. That's also going to be a component. And then we're going to set up this for the consort spawner and this for the imp spawner. Startup. I forgot, we still do actually need the startup system in order to spawn the spawners. What have you missed so far? Pretty much, like, not much. It's just, we're doing questing systems today. So I'm making an easy and recyclable way to spawn spawners. This is also going to need a transform bundle from transform. We're going to need a new vec3. And now I have to figure out where in the world I want to actually place these things, because the main problem with Bevy so far is that it has no editor. And because it has no editor, I can only vaguely guess where everything is. So I guess we'll just have this be negative 20 meters that way. And the other one we're going to have be 20 meters the other way. Arguments this function are... Oh, right. These need to be decimal for Rust reasons. Spec transform. Can I have a from translation? No, there's not a from translation. Transform from translation. Alright. This should be all of this information that we need to create respawning spawners. Now we just have to actually get the spawner logic to work. I do have to specify the current amount of spawn timeriness. Oh, I need to know the spawner type. I also need to know the entity type so that I can track them. I always forget how to do generic arguments in Rust. Nice, apparently that's it. Oh, I do need to also import time. There we go. Copilot, do this work for me. Okay, for each spawner, increases the spawn time. This actually needs to be a duration. Forgot about that. You can just increase time.delta. Duration. Is there a 0? There is a 0. Okay, we're gonna have we're gonna make an entity count. That's just going to be entities.iterate. We also need to filter for the spawner. Ah, right, so this needs to be a spawned entity. Specifically a reference to a spawned entity. We need E, where E dot spawner equals... Ah, shoot, I do need to actually track the entity value. Okay, there we go. So if the spawn timer is greater than the spawn delay, and the entity count is less than the max amount, I'm just going to make the max amount usize. Oh, right, we actually don't need commands because we're not spawning anything here. What's an example of a quest? Yeah, kill 10 enemies, or like, oh, the imps have stolen my favorite plushie. Go get it back, please. I am sad. And then you go do that. I think just get limps until it drops. I need this to be a global transform. Need this to be here, and then we're going to return transform dot translation. Okay, so this is all the code we need to get the spawner to actually work. These all require spawned entity components with the, shoot, I need the name of the spawner. Oh, wait, that's easy. I'll just pass it around in here. Bub spawner entity. And there we go. I'll just pass that along. There we go. Now they have actually the information they need for this to work. This needs to be duration from seconds, and this is going to be 1 second. Spawn timer is going to start at 0. Expected U64. Weird. Is there not a... Oh, here we go. From seconds F32. Oh, right. I mean, you need to track the entity types. Derive component. Abstract. Consort. Copilot, do the thing. Thank you. This is going to be a consort. This is going to be an imp. And then in here, we feed the consort spawner, gets the consorts. The imp spawner gets the imps. And there's no errors, which means it should just magically work, because Rust is great like that. The reward for completing quests is more quests. Yeah, pretty much. Actually, we do... Wow. That's not the worst thing I've seen all day. Hey, look, spawners work. Nice. They spawn faster than you can dispatch them, but still. Alright, have fun. See ya. I think the spawn delay is probably too high. I almost said it's something like 5. So there's actually reason to wait. Yeah, okay, let's see. Quest for rewards. We do have 3 weapons, so you could start with the funny hammer and then get the other funny weapons. That would be cool. I think I'm also going to raise the spawners slightly in the air. See how that looks. There we go. That doesn't look bad.
Left, right, left,
That's kind of cute, actually. I like that. I think there should be much less of these. Okay, since that is a unit of work, we're going to commit this. Add spawners. Boop. Will the alchemized code for Pashus still be the same one? Probably not. Sadly. The code names, like, actually mean something, so. Sad. I guess it's next we should do the questing interface. Yeah, sure, let's do the questing interface. Making a file on NPCs, call it questing.rs. Add that to here. We're just gonna make a quest giver. Interesting. Copilot thinks we should make a quest struct. I think we should make a... We should track what quest has already been given. It's going to be an option to a... I want it to be a reference to a quest. But I'm not sure the best way to track references like this in Rust, which means we're gonna go over to Discord and ask the actual Rusty person on the team. Where's Blair? There's Blair. Blair, I need help. I want to store references to a quest by both the player and the consort giving the quest. What should I use for this? Arc? And I'm just gonna use Arc for now, which is just a... What's box? Hi? Chat? Alright, that was weird. My whole internet just dropped. Surely this won't... It's gonna be one of those days, isn't it? Enemy, yes, we're gonna make a quest. We're going to make the quest. We're gonna give it a... Sure, we'll give it this information. Thank you, Copilot. So yeah, we're just gonna have a reference count to the quest. I think that's how that works. We also are going to need a quest screen, which is going to have the list of quests that we need. or that that are currently being tracked. It really wants us to make a plugin.